Welcome everyone. Assalamu alaikum. Hello, konnichiwa, guten tag, dobrodan. Today we are looking at triple brackets. This is paper 1, May 27, the first of 10 questions, and we're going to skip the top part, and this is where you can see we have our triple brackets. If you are new to the channel, welcome. And as we are looking at exam questions, they start off easier and then they get progressively harder, hopefully. And so this is the first question. Pause and have a go. When you are ready, press play. Or if you are stuck, you can press play. If you want to, you can follow me as well. So first of all, our question says, show that x plus 1 times x plus 2 times x plus 3 can be written in the form ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d, where a, b, c, and d are positive integers. So how do we do this? What are our steps? Step 1 is we expand two brackets. Expand two brackets. Okay, and you're going to get 4 terms, and then you simplify. And then our step 2 is we take the answer with our answer, multiply the third bracket. And we will get 6 terms. And then we simplify them. Okay, so those are our steps. Now, you can use many methods. The method I'm going to be using is the grid method or the box method, because that makes it much easier for you to get method marks in case you make mistakes. So here we have x plus 1, so I'm going to write out x. Got plus 1 here. So I've got that times by the second bracket, which is going to be x plus 2. Should write it out here, x plus 1, x plus 2. Okay, and so I'm just going to fill in the boxes. So I've got x times x gives me x squared. I've got x times 1 plus 1. I'll just do 1 for now, 1x. So it's plus 1x. 2 times x, which gives me 2x. So it's plus 2x. 2 times 1 gives me 2. So plus 2. And now I can simplify. I've got an x squared term here. This is x squared. And then I've got my x terms, which is 2x and 1x. So that gives me 3x. If you can't see that, plus 2 plus 1 is 3x. And then I've got the plus 2 term. So I've got x squared plus 3x plus 2. So that's my step 1 done. I've expanded the 2 brackets. I had 4 terms, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I simplified and I've got that. Now I'm going to take my answer and I'm going to multiply with the third bracket. So I'm going to have x squared plus 3x plus 2, multiply that by x plus 3. And so I'm going to draw the grid again. So I'm going to have x squared plus 3x plus 2 multiplied by x plus 3. Okay, and the same thing again, I expand this, so x times x squared gives me x cubed, x times 3, 3x gives me 3x squared plus 3x squared, x times 2 equals 2x, so it's plus 2x, 3 times x squared, 3x squared plus 3x squared, 3 times 3x there gives me 9x plus 9x, and 3 times 2 gives me 6 plus 6. So you can see with my answer, I've expanded with the third bracket. I've got 6 terms now I need to simplify. So I've got x cubed here, so that is x cubed. I look at my x squared term here, so this is 3x squared, so plus 3, and another 3x, so 3 gives me 6, so that's 6x squared. Then I look at my next term, which is this plus 9x, and this plus 2x, so I can ignore the x for now. 9 plus 2 gives me 11, so I'm going to get 11x, and then I've got my 6 there, plus 6. So my final answer is x cubed plus 6x squared plus 11x plus 6. So hopefully you got the same answer. Well done if you have. Let's go to the next thing. So this is my kind of analysis of triple brackets, and when it's come up, and you can see quite clearly it comes up in all papers, calculator, which is paper 1, and non-calculator papers. You can see there's a pattern clearly. It's appeared more times in paper 3 than any other papers. All right, so here is our next question. Our next question is from paper 3, June 2019. Show that 2x plus 1 plus times x plus 3 times 3x plus 7 can be written in the form ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d, where a, b, c, and d are integers. Press pause and answer the question. When you're ready, you can press play for the answer. If you get stuck or you want to go through it with me, let's carry on. And so, same thing as last time, we are going to be doing our steps, which is step 1, expand with 2 brackets, we get 4 terms, simplify. Then step 2, with our answer, multiply the third bracket to get 6 terms, and we simplify. So let's get cracking. So here you can see I've got all of them are positive, which is good. Okay, all the terms are positive, so I'm just going to go with this order that's already there. So I've got 2x plus 1 times x plus 3. And so just like before, x times 2x is 2x squared, x times 1 is 1x, 3 times 2x is 6x, and it's positive, so plus 3 times 1 is 3, so plus 3. And now I simplify. 2x squared, 6x plus 1x is 7x, plus 7x, and I've got the 3 term there. So that's my step 1 done. Okay, now I'm going to take my answer and multiply with the third bracket. So I'm going to have 2x squared plus 7x plus 3 times by 3x plus 7. So I'm going to have 2x squared plus 7x plus 3 times 3x times 7 plus 7. Now you can use other methods, which is fine. I'm using the grid method, and this way, by using this method, I'm more likely to get 2 marks out of 3 if I make any silly mistakes, and I can spot mistakes if I make them. It just makes it easier. So similar to before, I'm now doing 2x squared times 3x, so 2 times, I have to write this out, 2x squared times 3x. So I've got 2 times 3 gives me 6. X squared times x gives me x cubed. 6x cubed. Similarly with this one here, 3 times 7 is 21, so plus 21. X times x is x squared. 3 times 3 is 9. I've got x here. 7 times 2 is 14, so plus 14 x squared. 7 times 7 is 49. And this is x. And the last one, 7 times 3 is 21. And now I simplify. So I've got 6x cubed. I've got x squared here and x squared here. So 21 plus 14. That gives me 21 plus 10. 31 plus 4 is 35. So plus 35x squared. And then I've got my next term, which is 49x and 9x. So these are my like terms. 49 plus 9 equals to 58. So I've got plus 58x, and then my number term plus 21. And so that is my final answer. Hopefully you got the same answer. Well done if you have. Okay. And just a little quote, just to keep us motivated. Every expert was once a beginner. So if you've been struggling with expanding triple brackets, it's just about practice, because every expert was once a beginner. So after you've done a few of these, hopefully this video will help you. You will become an expert by the end of it. All right, let's go to the next question. And this is from paper 3, November 2022. We're going to ignore part A because it's not part of expanding brackets. And we've got the next part here. So we have now got this question here. Can you see that question? Let's zoom in a bit more. Focus a little bit more. There we are. Okay, press pause and have a go. When you are ready, you can press play for the answer. And if you're following me, let's have a go. So similar to before. So we've got expand and simplify x plus 2 times x plus minus 3 times x plus 4. The difference with this question is we've got a negative in there. So with the negative, we just have to be a little bit careful. Let's remind our steps. Step 1, expand the 2 brackets. We get 4 terms. Simplify. That gets our method mark, the 4 terms. Step 2, with our answer, multiply the 3rd bracket. We get 6 terms. And subject to how you expand those 6 terms, we get our method mark, and then we simplify. Okay, it's the trickiness with this question is just our positives and our negatives. That's what catches people out. So I'm going to do the first 2 terms, x plus 2 times x minus 3. And I'm going to have x here plus 2 times x minus 3. So I've got my grid. If you're not using a grid, then that's fine. It's just a grid does make it easier. That's why I'm demonstrating it here. X times x gives us x squared. X times 2 plus 2x. Minus 3 times x minus 3x minus 3 times 2. So 3 times 2 is 6. A negative and a positive gives me a negative. So just remembering that, now I can simplify here. I've got my x squared, then I've got my x terms. This is minus 3 plus 2. That gives me minus 1. So it's minus 1x, and then I've got my minus 6 here. So that's my answer to the double bracket. So that's my step 1 completed. Expand 2 brackets, 4 terms, simplify. Now I multiply that with the third bracket. So I'm going to have x squared minus 1x take away 6 multiplied by my third bracket, which is x plus 4. And I'm going to draw my grid again. X squared minus 1x minus 6 multiplied by x plus 4. Okay, and now I just carry on simplifying. I'm expanding this, so x times x squared, x cubed, x times minus 1, so minus 1x squared, x times minus 6 is minus 6x. Now I do 4 times x squared plus 4x squared. 4 times 1 is 4, so 4x. Then negative and a positive gives me a negative. And then you've got 4 times 6, 6, 12, 18, 24. Positive and a negative gives me a negative. And then I simplify. So I've got x cubed. I've got 4x squared. Take away 1x squared. 4x squared. Take away 1x squared. That gives me 3x squared. So plus 3x squared. Didn't circle that one. Should have circled that. Now my next one, I'm going to look at my x terms. So this is x term, this is x term. Minus 4x, take away 6x, gives me minus 10x. So that becomes minus 10x, and then take away 24. And that is my final answer. Hopefully you got that right. Here is the next question. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Let's go to the next question. This is paper 3 from June 2023. Okay, press pause and have a go. When you're ready, press play for the answer. Oh, got a little interruption there, so let's go through this answer when you're ready. Or let's go through this. So similar to before, like we do. Step 1, expand 2 brackets, get 4 terms, simplify. Step 2, with our answer, multiply. With the third bracket, we get 6 terms and we simplify. Okay, so let's do this question. So I look at my terms, x minus 1 times x plus 3 times x minus 5. So I'm going to have x minus 1 times x plus 3. So I've got that along there. X times x, x squared. X times minus 1 is minus 1x. 3 times x is 3x, so plus 3x. 3 times 1 is 3. Positive and a negative gives me a negative. So this is now x squared. This is 3x and minus 1x. So 3 x minus 1x gives me 2x. So this is plus 2x. And then you've got minus 3 there. Now I take my answer. X squared plus 2x minus 3 times it with my third bracket, x minus 5. And so now I'm going to write this out. X squared plus 2x minus 3 times x minus 5. X times x squared is x cubed. X times 2 is 2x squared. And it's positive. X times minus 3 is minus 3x. Minus 5 times x squared is minus 5x squared. Minus 5 times 2x. So we've got 5 times 2 is 10. X negative and a positive is a negative. 5 times 3 is 15. A negative and a negative gives me a positive. Now I simplify. I've got x cubed. I've got minus 5x squared plus 2x squared. That gives me minus 5 plus 2 is minus 3x squared. Then I've got here the next one. I'll use a different color. Minus 10x minus 3x gives me minus 13x. And I've got plus 15. And then that's it. That is my final answer. Okay. Hopefully you got that right. Now, this is the next question, which is from paper 2, November 2023. But I've got to unfortunately take a break from here, so I'll do a part 2. Hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you're subscribed with notifications, you'll get the next screen coming up, next video. Thank you. See you soon, everybody. Bye-bye.